know you're nervous for the Rams, but you got to be a little enthusiastic after being there.
Bro, that game atmosphere was just ridiculous. The energy, the electricity. That place was rocking. Anyone was there, and a lot of the Super Buck fans were there too. The Bucks.
Tampa Tones. We are joined by lead goon tonight, host of the Pat and Aaron Show of WDAE, Pat Donovan. And it sounds like Stunna is bumbling a little bit. Going to put him on mute for a second until that gets a little cleared. But we're joined by Pat
It looks
Donovan.
like Stunna's hanging out with Cheech and Chong in a car with the windows up or something over there.
It does look like we got a little...
No, my camera's broke.
Howdy ho, howdy hey, how the hell is everybody? Welcome back into our Saturday Showdown football kickoff show, our weekend of football kickoff show here on the Buccaneers, where we talk all things football, including college football, gambling talk, fantasy football, NFL picks, dedicated to the late Kenneth Rubright, called Red Eyes NFL Pick'em, and so much more. Obviously, Bucs and Colts previews and all the good stuff. Penn State, Notre Dame, Florida talk. We're going to talk all things football here today. As Lucky Lucy's joining us bright and early. Good morning. Good morning to you, Lucky Lucy. We love our lady listeners. We thank you so much for listening to us here on the Buccaneers, especially on a Saturday Showdown weekend of football kickoff show. The Godfather, James Rubright's taking over the chat once again. How the hell you doing, Godfather? Happy college football Saturday. We got a big college football slate, huge NFL slate, and a plethora of football news to get to. We're going to get to the great J-Lo as well. J-Lo, how the hell you doing, brother? Welcome in once again. Another Saturday is here. Already week 9 of college football, but 10 weeks of games if you count week 0. It is crazy, my friend.
Yes, it is, man. We got a great, suit of games today in the college football world of football. It's just exciting, and plus we're getting towards November football, which makes it even more interesting. Getting close to Halloween, happy Halloween coming up to all the listeners listening this morning. How you doing, brother?
Good. Just getting back from work. I do have a day job, but Halloween, yes, we're going to have our Halloween special on Tuesday. We always have a Halloween special. It's going to be a lot of fun Tuesday. We're going to incorporate the lovely holiday of Halloween with our podcast. But J-Lo, we got to start with some very unfortunate news, and many people know by now, but I would just like to give a minute or two each on the loss of Amir Abdur-Rahim at 43 years old. He passed away on October 24th. A couple days back. For those unfamiliar with Amir Abdur-Rahim, he was currently South Florida's basketball coach in college, had an incredible year, led South Florida to a conference win in the regular season, led them to the NIT. He was turning the program around, former Kennesaw State head coach when they made a little run, 43 years young, went in for a typical medical procedure, they called it. And sadly, it ended with our guy, Amir Abdur-Rahim, passing away. He'll never be forgotten, J-Lo. He was a leader not only on the court, but off the court in the Tampa Bay sports community. And a lot of people loved the great Amir Abdur-Rahim, who left us too young, J-Lo, at the age of 43.
Yeah, very tragic. He had such a great season last year for USF. I mean, they were heading to a very good path. My prayers go out to him, his family, RIP. Very tragic, gone way too soon. Unfortunately, sometimes when your time is up, your time is up. But it was way too soon for this man. He, like you just said, he great leader. Great.
And J-Lo, you would know better than me. You're right in the middle of the Tampa area, the 813. What was his impact like around that area? I know he did a lot for the team, but off the court as well. And, just saying, hey, no matter your background or whatever, we're going to all get together here and love sports together.
Oh, yeah. He was well respected over on the campus from what I've been told. Talking to a couple of people that went to USF, told me, he was just a great overall person. just very outspoken, well respected. I mean, it's just very tragic. And unfortunately, he's gone, but all we can do is pay our respects and, my condolences to the family and the players affected by this. It's very hard.
Very hard, very tragic. Angela is joining us now. Godmother's in the house now. Thank you for joining us. But very tragic, J-Lo. Just one of those guys that'll never be forgotten. And Tampa Bay has been hit hard with this over the past couple years, especially. We're going to get into another late great we lost recently as well. And it's just not good stuff. So once again, rest in peace to USF's own Amir Abdur-Rahim, the great college basketball coach in the state of Florida, the city of Tampa. Gone but never forgotten. The Yuengling Center will never be the same. And the season is right around the corner. Preseason opens today, regular season about a week from now. Just tough times here, nearing Halloween and the other holidays, as well as J-Lo alluded to. Halloween right around the corner, 3 kids, a wife. So sorry to hear Amir Abdur-Rahim. Until we meet again, my friend, we'll meet down the road. J-Lo, we do have football to get to, though. As terrible and somber as the Amir Abdur-Rahim story is, we have Bucs Falcons to talk about. Battle for first place in the NFC South. If the Bucs win, they're in first and feeling good. If the Falcons win, they're in first and feeling good. And I want to get to the injury report, J-Lo, because the Bucs injury report is out, and we're going to get into both them and the Falcons injury report. On both sides of the ball, you see some outs, which are big. You got Mike Evans, Greg Gaines, and Tyke Smith ruled out for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in this throwback Sunday creamsicle game. Payne Durham is listed as questionable. Bucky Irving listed as questionable. And an interesting one, J-Lo, the practice window open on Rakim Jarrett. He's questionable as well. On the Falcons side of things, you got Troy Anderson and Justin Simmons are out. Then Antonio Hamilton and Ryan Newsel is questionable. So, J-Lo, I'll let you dissect the Falcons side of things. Troy Anderson, a linebacker. Justin Simmons, a safety, hamstring, and knee injury to those guys, ruling them out. Could the Buccaneers take advantage of the Falcons without a couple of their guys? As James Rubright says, go Navy. Yep, they got a big one against Notre Dame today. Christopher says prayers for his family and friends. Amir Abdur-Rahim, absolutely. But J-Lo, thoughts on the Bucs injury report, the Falcons side of the ball, and then I'll get to Tampa's injuries.
Yeah, I mean, Troy Anderson's a very speedy linebacker. I believe he didn't play the last game when we first played the Falcons. So to me, it's a plus. It just helps the run game a little bit easier. And then with Simmons being out, that takes away some of their deep balls, guys, which can help Baker Mayfield launch the ball to either Palmer or McMillan, or even get the ball to Sterling Shepard. I mean, to me, it eases up, on the offense side of the ball for the Bucs. Falcons, their defense is very questioning, kind of like how our defense is. We don't know how good they really are. I feel like we can definitely run the ball on them, especially now that we know that Anderson's going to be out. So that to me is a huge deal, to where we can create some running gains on them. But the Falcons, I feel that they'll still be competitive even without the two names I just said. The other players are just depth guys, in my opinion. I feel that this will be a running football game for us against the Falcons defense.
And it's interesting. I was listening on my way home from work to the great Wise and Mathis, Nick Wise and Christopher Mathis, who are on WDAE on Saturday mornings for a couple of hours. And when they were discussing this game, they talked about which Bucs team is impacted more by the injury bug against the Falcons, the one from Thursday Night Football, October 3rd, or the one from October 27th, tomorrow on a Sunday. When you look back at the Thursday night game, J-Lo, you were without a lot of key cogs. Offensively, you were missing very good right tackle Luke Odecki. You were also missing a couple of young, hungry wide receivers with Rakim Jarrett, with Jalen McMillan, and with Trey Palmer. Defensively, you were missing Kalijah Cansey and Antoine Winfield that game additionally, and Jordan Whitehead at the end of the game as well. Now you fast forward to this week, again, a lot of key injuries. You're without Tyke Smith and Greg Gaines defensively, and you're without Godwin and Mike Evans offensively, but the Bucs look to be in pretty good shape otherwise than that. So J-Lo, in a weird way, yes, we're without Godwin. Yes, we're without Evans, Tyke Smith, and Greg Gaines, but getting back Jalen McMillan and Palmer for this game, changing up the wide receiver core a little bit, maybe getting back Rakim Jarrett, that helps offset. Those three guys will never offset Godwin and Evans completely, but it kind of helps give us depth to kind of battle that depth position. And then, J-Lo, defensively, we improve greatly. I'll trade Greg Gaines and Jamel Dean and Tyke Smith for getting Kalijah Cansey, Antoine Winfield, and a full Jordan Whitehead back. What say you?
Oh yeah, I mean, this is going to be a much different battle, different kind of, players coming back. I think Cansey with Vita Vea, hopefully Vita Vea is a little bit more healthier this week going in tomorrow, to help shut down the run, to contain
And
Bijan
hopefully
Rob.
we play J.J. Russell tomorrow too.
Oh God, yes. I mean, I think all of Buccaneer land right now. I think we're all pretty fed up with KJ Brett on coverage. I like his style. Getting the players hyped up, but his coverage is just so poor. And that's the bonus part, Tones, is that we already played this team once already. So now we got an idea on how to adjust to shut down Kirk Cousins and not give him another all-pro passing game. You got to get pressure on Kirk Cousins. If you don't get pressure on him, he's going to pick you apart every single time. So, as far as Winfield being back is huge, I feel like, him being in this game is going to be really helpful. Um, Cansey, I feel like will help, develop the pass rush because I think Atlanta's O line is not as good as Baltimore's. I think Atlanta is going to be giving up some pressures to Kirk Cousins, which we need to off throw his passes. Um, Tyler Thunderbird's got a big, matchup, with Darnell Mooney. I like that matchup. I think it's going to be a good battle because obviously they're gonna put McCollum on Drake London, who's been a thorn in our behinds the last few games we played Atlanta. So I think that's a good thing. I think we'll see a different kind of game plan on defense. And as far as offense goes, having Luka Decky back at right tackle is huge. I feel like it's going to help the run game a lot. Like I mentioned, the Falcon injury report. I feel like we should be able to run the ball pretty well with them if we don't get behind early. We can keep it steady to where we can run the ball and take less pressure off number 6. Then I think we can definitely pull out a win tomorrow.
Yeah, and J-Lo, I think we could pull out a win as well as we are live here on the Buccaneers. The great J-Lo and Tampa Tones taking you to Bucs game day, college football game day, NFL talk, and Joey Nips is going to be joining us very momentarily as well in about 10 to 20 minutes or so. Joey Nips will be joining the program here too. But J-Lo, we got another unfortunate, sad thing to cover. Bittersweet as they are celebrating his birthday in a great way. Would have been the great Mark Cook's birthday today, J-Lo. Big time Tampa Bay Buccaneers reporter and Buccaneers fan for the great Pewter Report. The Bucs did a great tribute for him during the preseason when he passed away, passed after the Super Bowl out of nowhere. But J-Lo, they are wearing the creamsicles this weekend. To me, that's a great tribute for the great Mark Cook as he's looking down on us in heaven. Far too young. Tampa keeps going through this far too much with Dave Wills, Vincent Jackson, Geno Hayes, Amir Abdur-Rahim, Mark Cook. The list goes on and on. But what a way to be honored by Cookie up in heaven by the Bucs wearing some creamsicles this weekend, J-Lo.
Absolutely. I'm very excited. I'll be at the game tomorrow rocking my Mike Evans creamsicle, even though he won't be playing, but I'm still going to represent. And, shout out RIP to Mark Cook. I always enjoyed all his stuff when it came to talking butt football. The man was just overall just a great personality from what I've heard. I never had the pleasure of meeting him, but I've seen him on Peter Report a few times on their pod years back. I just, for what I'm hearing, he was just a great overall person. And like I said, and I'm just glad that they represented him when he passed because that was very tragic as well. But gone, never forgotten, the great Mark Cook.
The great Mark Cook, indeed, gone but never forgotten. And again, kind of happening too much here in the area of late, but we will continue to battle through these tough times together. And like I said, honorary weekend for Mark Cook as they are wearing the creamsicles. So cool stuff there for the legend who definitely deserves recognition. J-Lo, moving on here. We are going to get to our Bucs bet shortly, but it's time to point out our Saints player of the game to look out for, or not Saints, I'm sorry. I don't know why I keep saying Saints. Falcons player of the game to watch out for. One guy in Atlanta could be special teams. They got some good ones on special teams, offense, defense, any of the positions, or even anyone on the coaching staff, J-Lo. But Atlanta Falcons wise, who is one player or coach you're circling and you're targeting if you're the Bucs this weekend and say, hey, we can't let this guy beat us?
I'm gonna have to say Bijan Robinson. Gonna have to keep a close eye on him after how the defense gave up some of these big runs to Derrick Henry, and plus the catch and receiving game from Gus Edwards. Bijan Robinson, I feel like you got to really contain, shut him down, and shut down the run game. Then you can put your focus on Kirk Cousins pressuring him. But I say Bijan Robinson, a big name to watch tomorrow.
Yeah, I think Bijan Robinson is a great back, and Derrick Henry hurt us late in that football game. As we know, he started gashing us at a bad clip. Speaking of gashing us, we got the great Gene from Buck What You Heard in the house. Gene, first of all, how the hell are you? Welcome back, my friend. And secondly, if you're to look out for one Falcon player to do some damage to this Bucs team, who are you watching out for, my friend?
Yeah, hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Bijan Robinson, I'm gonna have to go with him too. He's a dynamic runner, and if the Bucs can keep him in front of him, and they can get stops. I feel like this Bucs team should have beat the Falcons last game, and I feel like on defense there were some players that were missing. Kalijah Cansey was missing. Antoine Winfield Jr. was missing, and I know they didn't play to their best. The Bucs just don't do well against really physical teams, whether it's defense or offense. And I know right now a lot of people are looking at the losses that the Bucs suffered injury-wise, but this is still a winnable game. And I say that with all sincerity. I feel like they've got the weapons and tools, especially on defense, to slow down this Falcons offense and get some stops. And for me, when I look at the Bucs, I feel like they're going to bounce back from this game. This is definitely a necessary win, and the Bucs have to go out there and do it.
Yeah, they certainly do, Gene. This is a necessary win, especially if you want to win the NFC South. If you
Yeah.
lose this game, it's not totally done the division, but the door's kind of closing there, and the wild card is kind of what you set your sights on. So the Bucs got to fight in this one. We did have a discussion earlier. Hey, even though Godwin and Evans are gone, what Bucs team is better? I like this one with Winfield, Kalijah Cansey for this particular game as well. If I were to look out for one Falcons player, guys, I'm going to go with the guy who's been playing better over the past couple of weeks, and it's going to be against a position of vulnerability here against this Buccaneers team on Sunday. I think you guys probably know where I'm heading, but Kyle Pitts, a guy who's been increasing his role on Atlanta's offense, and let's not lie, the hindering of Bucs defense so far, at least, or the past couple of weeks at least, has been KJ Britt over the middle in that soft spot. We saw Mark Andrews last week slice and dice us up against the Saints. They came out slinging to their tight end right over the middle. The week before that, Atlanta kept killing us over the middle. Kyle, last couple games goes as followed. Against the Bucs, he had 7 catches for 88 yards. Against Carolina, he had 3 catches but went for 70 yards. Against Seattle, had 7 catches for 65 yards. So this is a tight end, fellas, who in his last 3 games has had 17 receptions for over 215 yards in total. The Bucs are going to have to find a way to help KJ Britt, and that might be by benching him on obvious passing downs. Rushing situations could be a little different, but Gene, when you have a linebacker who's ranked 83rd out of 83rd, to me, I know Todd Bowles likes his guys, and I like Todd Bowles, but this isn't Devin White where it was a top 3 or 4 pick, so you're trying to salvage all the juice out of the lemon. This is a guy who you got in the mid rounds, and if you got to play J.J. Russell a little bit more, you have to. As Puckhead does join us and says driving Mrs. H to the airport to go home. Hope she's safe. But Gene, thoughts on KJ Britt?
Oh yeah, I think you have to look at other options. And the one thing that I found with the Buccaneers defense, or with the Buccaneers team as a whole, whenever these other younger players, they're hungry, they want to get out there and play and show what they can do. And this is one of those opportunities. Like, I feel like they need to switch it up. It hasn't been working. We've had 6 games, and you know my rule on 6 games. You get an idea of what you have, and we've seen what we have here at the linebacker core. And I feel like they need to make a change. They need to do something and see what works, because this isn't working. I don't know if it's scheme wise what you have to do, but they're vulnerable in the middle. And I know they're going to address it in the draft or in free agency in the upcoming season, but as of right now, they have to try something else. I don't know if they have to go to the practice squad. I don't know if they have to go to a backup or what they have to do. I like KJ Britt coming into the season. I thought, hey, this guy, he's got a smart football mind. He doesn't have the physical tools that a Devin White had. Even with Devin White, with all his inconsistencies, is still more of a physical presence physically than what KJ Britt has shown. But he was just inconsistent. So Todd Bowles has to really rethink this. And if that's you're only as strong as your weakest link, and you got to fix that link, to be honest. I mean, we've seen, I think, fans, I think coaches, when you look at film, you've seen enough, and you need to get somebody else in. I mean, I was a big apologist for him. I was like, okay, yeah, he's new, he's learning the system, he's getting in there, but he's slow. He's like he's running in quicksand around some of these other guys, and he's a liability against passing. And that's been a flaw of linebackers outside of Levante David for years. So again, I think they're eventually going to get somebody, but for right now, you have to look at the practice squad. You have to look elsewhere to get that person in here to see what they can do, because KJ Britt is not the answer right now.
I couldn't agree more. He's certainly not, and I think me and you teed off on that well enough. And it's time to get into our Bucs Bets segment, where we talk money for your Tampa Bay
and
Buccaneers.
Tones, I'm going to be sending you some bread, man, because I want to make some of these bets, baby.
Yes, let's do it, bro. We could always do a little Gene and Tones when you're not putting me through the table, that is. But we'll save that for a rainy day. But fellas, it's interesting because the Buccaneers are up to a 3-point home underdog. So they're starting off the game 3-0 in betting terms. Gene, we'll start with you. Would you rather take the Bucs +3 for even money, or would you take the Bucs money line at times 123, put $10 down? That would win you $12.30. What say you?
I'm trying to win that $12.30, baby.
I think so. J-Lo?
No, I agree. I'll go for the 12 for sure.
Yeah, I'm going to go with...
That's what makes this game even sweeter is we're looking at lines like this all day. I'll sit on that all day.
I agree, and that's what we're going to be doing, and I like that one a lot. I think Bucs money line is a nice, juicy play for the weekend. Now we're going to start switching off, fellas, after our collective one. J-Lo, we're going to start with you. Total over-under points for the game. Bucs and Falcons combined 45.5 points. J-Lo, over-under.
I say over. I think we're going to see some points scored for sure. Over.
Gene, the Bucs, let alone standalone total is 21.5. Do you see the Bucs getting to 22 or more?
Yes, 22 definitely. With the emergence of Sean Tucker, along with Rashad White, along with Bucky Irving, you can't. I mean, that's what they were gouging. The Bucs were gouging the Atlanta Falcons with the run game, and now you add this other dynamic of a Sean Tucker in there as well. Are you kidding me? Yeah, I'm all over this.
Yeah, I'm all over that as well. I love it. And we do get a text in from one of our listeners, the great Mrs. H. We do love you. She's showing love to the program. So always a great
Mrs. H, how you doing?
Mrs. H and Puckhead taking over the great city of Nebraska on Nebraska's big game day. We'll get into that. They got
Nebraska game day, baby.
Daunting task for them, that's for damn sure. But yeah, we'll chat about that. But touchdown score now, guys. I'm gonna kick this one off here. And actually, J-Lo, I'm gonna send it to you. We'll keep this up. Out of the big wigs, out of all the favorites, J-Lo, which would you take here for touchdown score? Rashad White, $10 would get you $11.40. Jalen McMillan, $10 would get you $19. Cade Otton, $10 would get you $19.50. Where you heading there, J-Lo, in the top three for Bucs touchdown scoring odds?
I say give me McMillan. I think we're going to see a big game out of him tomorrow. I think he's going to get out of the rookie stage and actually take a bigger step. So give me him on the touchdown.
Gene, as we look to you here, my friend, I'm going to ask you one last Bucs Bets question, and give us your final word and final thoughts, my brother. I know it's Saturday, and I know we are lucky to get you here for even the time we do have. But Gene, before your final words and final thoughts, we're going to win you some money. So out of Bucky Irving, Trey Palmer, and Sean Tucker, who would you bet on there to get a touchdown? If you bet 10 on Bucky Irving, he would win you $21.50. If you bet 10 on Trey Palmer, he would win you $21. And if you bet on Sean Tucker, he'd give you $22.50.
I'm taking Sean Tucker. He's underrated again. I don't think that the Atlanta Falcons is scheme for him. That's good money right there, and I'm all over it.
And Gene, before you give your final word as well, give us your bet of the weekend. Could be NFL, college football, player prop. But you've been good. You're the only undefeated breadwinner left at 3-0. So just toss something our way, my friend. That is your breadwinner of the week. We're surging, guys. We are 8 for our last 11 as a collective group in bets, and we are now plus $89 on the season in total. So Gene, before you bounce out, give us your breadwinners. We're 16-20 as a whole.
Oh goodness, that's kind of tough. These games are a little bit more competition as well. So oh man.
Yeah, well, it ain't easy. It is tough, but there's the Bucks, there's Browns home against the Ravens, get an 8.5. Titans plus 11.
I'm taking the Ravens over the Browns.
There we go. You like them straight up or minus?
I like them. I like it straight up. I think they're on a roll. I think until they can figure out a way to stop King Henry, the Ravens are going to be a monster to deal with.
It's Jameis season, Gene. Jameis season.
Isn't it funny? Bucks former first overall pick Jameis is starting for Cleveland, and Cleveland's first former overall pick Baker starting for us. But Gene, give us your final word before you bounce out of here, my man.
I'm glad to be with my family, the Buccaneers. I'm looking forward to many more shows. And sorry, I can't. I'm actually in Kansas right now. And,
wow.
Yeah, so I figured I wanted to go live with you guys. I always miss you on Saturdays, and I appreciate everything you guys do. I mean, this is great content. I know there are other shows that people could be watching, and I appreciate all you guys in the chat, the people on Facebook, everywhere that they're watching this. I appreciate all you guys, because you could be doing something else, and this show wouldn't be what it is without you guys supporting us. So thank you, everybody. I appreciate you.
Yeah, we appreciate you as well, brother Gene. You have a great time in Kansas. Maybe see you Monday for the Chiefs game next week.
Oh, yeah.
But if not, we'll definitely link up down the road. But, brother, be safe. Say hi to your family for us as well. And you take care, brother. We'll be talking to you.
All right, guys.
Take care, Gene.
Gene, Tones, and the Buccaneers. We all have holiday giveaways coming up in the near future as well. So be sure to be on the lookout for that. J-Lo, we're going to continue here now as we close out our Bucs bets before we get to Joey Nips. What are moderate touchdown scorers, J-Lo? Are you betting $10 on Sterling Shepard to score a touchdown? That would win you $30. Or are you betting $10 on Baker Mayfield to run for a touchdown? That would win you $34.
Oh, I'm betting on Baker Mayfield, baby. Number 6. I think he's definitely going to run one in for a touchdown, maybe even a QB sneak. I mean, it's all about number 6 tomorrow on offense besides running the ball. I think he's going to definitely show out tomorrow.
Joe, as Gene leaves the show, you join the show, so we're going to incorporate you here in our Bucs Bet segment. Gene did give us our breadwinner. Gene's 3-0 with breadwinners, so we're going to continue our Bucs Bets. Joey, if you could put money on one of these three odds to score a touchdown, where are you heading? $10 on Rakim Jarrett, that would win you 65. $10 on Payne Durham, that would win you 80. Or $10 on Ryan Miller, that would win you 80. Which of those three would you take a stab at?
I'll go. Give me Payne Durham.
I like that one because he's had a couple big time catches, and he's going to be a red zone threat. As Bud Cannibalist checks in, howdy. You just missed Gene, Bud. He was in here though, so be sure to watch a replay after we end the beginning. Q's 44 says need more 44. Yes, we do need Sean Tucker. We love
Amen.
Sean Tucker, and Gene just alluded to Sean Tucker. But Joey, I love your Payne Durham pick over there. J-Lo, you ended out of the two long shot odds. Who are you going with? O'Keefe, $10 would win you 90, or Devin Culp, the rookie tight end, $10 would win you 150.
Ooh, tough one. But because of Payne Durham possibly returning tomorrow, I'll take that chance with O'Keefe because obviously he'll be the blocking tight end, but he had the red zone short pass. So give me O'Keefe.
Joey, Baker Mayfield over under 229.5 passing yards.
I'm going to go over. A lot of people are going to be down about it right now, especially in the national media. But they're going to run to score and throw to win in this game, and that will get them the over.
I like that. I think so as well. I think he'll hit the over sneakily. J-Lo, Kirk Cousins over under half an interception. So do you think Kirk Cousins throws an INT?
Bet yes, he will. We're going to pick him off again.
Two
like we did the
times.
last
Two
game.
times.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think we'll definitely pick him off. I think we'll give him twice actually tomorrow if you really want to tell you how confident I am.
Joey, Jalen McMillan, the Bucs rookie out of Washington. Remember those college football fans out there. He was better than Ruma Donze and Jalen Polk before he suffered his big-time injury a couple of years ago at college. Now looking healthy again. Joey, Jalen McMillan over under 39.5 receiving yards on Sunday.
Oh, I just picked this guy up for $20, so I know he ain't going to let me down. Give me the over.
I like that. K-Dot and J-Lo, 46.5 receiving yards over under.
I say over. K-Don definitely had probably his career high last Monday night. I say over.
Joey, we're going to go to Big Play Trey, the Nebraska native who had concussion issues earlier in the year. Trey Palmer over under 39.5 receiving yards as well.
I can't. Oh, man. I mean, what? He'll be their number 2.
Number 3, probably. Well, Sterling's going to play the slot. So, yeah, Palmer will be more on the outside still. So, yeah, number 2 on some sets.
I'll go under for him only because I'm going over for everything else, and everybody can't be over, right?
Yeah, I like his under, but I do think Trey Palmer catches a touchdown. That's what I'm rolling with. Q says Tuck for 2 TDs. I think Sean Tucker's in for a big game as well, even if Bucky Irving does suit up. J-Lo, Rashad White over under 19.5 receiving yards. I think this is free money personally, over 19.5. But J-Lo, what say you?
Oh, yeah, I would definitely take that bet. He's definitely going to be over receiving yards more than rushing. So give me the over on receiving yards for Rashad White.
As we go from receiving, we're going to go to rushing here. Then we end with our special teams field goal kicker. Joey, Baker Mayfield over under 17.5 rushing yards.
If the offensive line is good tomorrow, I don't see why this don't come in. Give me the over.
And remember, we didn't have Luke Odecki last time against Atlanta. Now we have him this time against Atlanta, which should be a help. J-Lo, Rashad White over under 37.5 rushing yards.
I'm going to say under. I think I see Tucker get more of the carries tomorrow.
And it's funny you mentioned Tucker because all they list is Rashad right now, so you can tell they're waiting to see more information on Bucky Irving before posting colors.
I think Bucky would be the number 2 back, getting the second amount of carries, and they'll have Rashad White on third down receiving. He'll get some touches, but I don't see him getting over 37 yards.
Joey, as we're nearing the end here, Chase McLaughlin over under 6.5 points off of his foot come Sunday.
Well, I said they scored 21 this weekend, so that's 3 touchdowns. I think I won't get my full score, so I got to go under, but it will come with positivity.
J-Lo, total yards of longest successful field goal between the Bucs and Falcons, 47.5. You got Younghoe Koo, you got Chase McLaughlin.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I say over. They're both probably one of the top kickers in the league right now. I mean, you can't go wrong with either one as your kicker, so I'd say over.
Then, Joey, we end with defense. Total sacks by the player. KJ Britt, over under half a sack. $10 would win you $47.50 if he somehow got one.
Well, it sounds like if he don't get one, he might be cut. His ass might be looking for work. So let's give him the sack.
Yeah, he's looking a little down and out, but he is good at rushing the passer. J-Lo, before I take us home, KJ Britt over under 6.5 tackles.
Ugh, tough one. I'd say over. I could see him getting out there, Bijan and Tyler Algier in the run game. So give me over on him.
Joey, your last one, Jordan Whitehead over under 5.5 tackles.
Oh, defense going to play hard this game. They're going to play big. But if safeties get tackles, that means the front side. I'll take the over still. Give me the over.
And last but not least, I'll take us home. Levante David over under 8.5 tackles. Give me the over there on Levante David. As Bud Cannibal says, Otten may lead the team in receptions. I think he gets 8 or 9 catches tomorrow. The third-year tight end from Washington. And really, our Washington players are going to have big games tomorrow in general. We have a lot of guys from Washington: Vita Vea, Joe Tryon-Shoyinka, Jalen McMillan, Cade Otten. The list goes on and on. But James Rubright, the Godfather, gives us his score, which means it's time to give us our scores and player of the games. James Rubright, the Godfather, says 27-17 Bucs. Joey, thoughts on that, and where you heading for not only the score but your Bucs player of the game?
We have to give a quick condolence to the kicker, the McAfee guy that they do the kick field goal kicks. He tore his ACL when he was practicing, so they had they had to choose somebody else.
Oh man!
But anyways, I know that's not for that. But holy cow, it's all over social media for people to see. But I'm going Bucs 21, Falcons 13. They're going to sack Cousins twice. They're going to pick him off twice. And Levante David's going to go ham mode like he does in the middle. I know the defense hasn't been there, but this is a Todd Bowles type game. If you win, Bowles defense plays good. 21-13 Bucs, Levante David.
Yeah, and Pepin Steppen gave us his score prediction on Wednesday when he was here. He said 27-21 Bucs as well. So far we got 27-21. 27-17, 21-13. J-Lo, where you had in score prediction and player of the game? So far, we got Levante as our player of the game.
Tough one. I have to say Bucs 28, Falcons 25. I think it'll be a competitive game to where I think we'll maintain not, trailing, trying to come back. I think they'll be the ones trailing coming back, and we'll end up getting the big win at home.
Bud says, so Washington losing today shouldn't matter. Yeah, college football, they have a tough task at Indiana. Indiana is without their quarterback, though. So
Trey
that'll be
Jackson Davis's brother of the NBA, actually, is the quarterback.
He says, that kicker pulled a cigar. Yeah, he did. J-Lo, who is your player of the game? My bad.
No, you're good. You're good. I'd say Antoine Winfield Jr. I think he's going to have a big game, picking off Kirk Cousins, leading the team in tackles tomorrow, shutting down the run.
I like that. Pops text in 23-20, Rashad White MVP. So we're all slicing and dicing here with our MVPs. We got Pops 23-20 with Rashad, Godfather 27-17, Joey 21-13, Levante, J-Lo 28-25, Winfield Jr. I'm going to go with 26-21. Bucs win. I think it's a heavy field goal game from the great Chase McLaughlin. And I'm going to go with Mr. Give me the birthday boy this weekend, Chris Braswell, the edge rusher, the rookie out of Alabama. I think it's a sack, maybe a strip sack, changes the game with momentum. Give me Chris Braswell as the player of the game for tomorrow. Before we get to the games of college football, we got Notre Dame having a big game, Penn State with a big game, and others around the league as well. Bud joins in with the score prediction, says 27-24 with Kalijah Cansey. I think Cansey will have a big bounce back effort as well. But Joey, Colts have a huge game this weekend against the Texans as well. What say you, and what's the word going around Indianapolis? I know Jonathan Taylor's back. I know Pittman appears to be all set and playing. It seems like the Colts are pretty damn healthy going into this showdown.
Absolutely. This is the healthiest we've been all season outside the beginning of the year. DeForest Buckner is back. Jonathan Taylor's back. Michael Pittman, some of these guys you alluded to. And Richardson's second game back from injury, so he'll be more fluid in the offense, and things should look good in the running game. It's tough at Houston, but last year we beat Houston. We were blowing them out before Richardson got hurt. It was like 21-0. We've lost the last two in Indy, but I think this is a road rivalry. I think we go out there. We know we cannot lose this one, being 0-1 to them this year. And if we win this game, we will be in first place in the AFC South. Yes, we will be in first in the AFC South. So I'm looking for the Colts to. It's not going to be the prettiest game in the world. We're going to have to win on defense. We're going to have to run effectively with Richardson and Taylor, and that what gets me to thinking we'll have a. I'm going Colts 24, Texans 23. That's how close I'm going for this game. And like I said, I mean, if you watch C.J. Stroud in the offense last week without Nico Collins, things are hurting a little. They're going to have to rely on Joe Mixon.
Who's your player of the game, and do you prefer AR to Flacco? Give us your brief thoughts.
Yeah, I'll just say if you're one of those guys who thinks Joe Flacco should start when both are healthy, you're an idiot to the game of football, and I'll give you a few reasons why. Number one, this year is all about finding out in Anthony Richardson's second year if he is the answer long term. We need to see by season's end if he's progressed from last year and the beginning of this year. Number two, we didn't draft him number 4 overall to sit on the bench healthy. There was 2 quarterbacks taken ahead of him. Bryce Young. Carolina's already screwed that all up by putting him on the bench. Now they got to throw him back out there because Andy Dalton Cheesesteaks got an injury. And number 3, Joe Flacco's 39, not 29. As good as he looks at times, the dude is going to be 40 soon. Yes, 40, and that might be young in the real world, but it is not at the quarterback position. So those are my 3 points. And the player of the game for Indianapolis, you know what? He had a sack last week, and he's starting to show well. You win a rookie edge rusher. I feel like I want to do the same thing with Mr. Liatu Latu. He is going to get after C.J. Stroud tomorrow and have a strip sack fumble.
J-Lo, Colts score and player of the game for tomorrow's matchup with Houston.
Give me Colts with a big win on the road, 27, Houston 24. I think it's going to be a very competitive game. With Jonathan Taylor being back, I think it's going to balance it out on the offense and the run game to run the ball on the Texans defense. So give me Jonathan Taylor as MVP.
Yeah, and I'm going to go with Colts 30-28. I think it's a barn burner, and I'm going to go with as my player of the game. I think Pittman finally breaks out. I think he's had a couple of nice plays in the season, but he hasn't really put together a great game yet overall in totality this season. They gave this guy a lot of money. I know he's battling a lot of back pains and whatnot, but as a Colts fan, if you want AR to trend upwards, you're going to need a big game from Michael Pittman one of these days. And if you want to beat a team like Houston on the road, your best have to play at their best. And to me, Pittman needs to have, it's not optional. If you want to beat Houston, to me, Michael Pittman needs to have a Pittman type day. And I think he will. The Godfather has a great comment. We're about to get to college football here shortly, but we all do pick the Colts, and we're going to end it like, yep, I agree, bud, though. Life is full of ups and downs, but football keeps us sane, that's for sure. Godfather, 23-20 Colts, he's going. Big Colts win, and now he's going to get us into our college football spreads with the Z, where we talk about all things college football, and we pick the games with the spreads, and we're all going to pick Penn State and Notre Dame's games, as they have some real tough tasks here ahead today, as both Penn State and Notre Dame hope to be playoff hopefuls this season. Godfather says, go Navy for Uncle Kenny. Got to go with Navy for Uncle Kenny. I agree. Today, I usually hope Notre Dame wins for the family, but today I hope Navy wins in honor of the great Ken Rubrate. Uncle Kenny, big Navy guy, was in the Navy, and they're a top-ranked team. If Navy has a good game today, they can maybe get their way into the playoffs. J-Lo, we'll start with you here first. This is a battle of the ranked, two top 25 ranked teams in this one, J-Lo. Notre Dame, Navy, hell of a showdown, 12 o'clock Eastern. Where you heading? The spread is huge, J-Lo. 14. Navy is getting 14 points at home.
It's a real tough one. Notre Dame has had its ups and downs throughout the season, but I think Notre Dame will go into Navy and knock them off the undefeated. Give me Notre Dame on the road.
Who's covering, though? Remember, college football's covering.
Oh, yeah, it's spread. No,
That's why it's called spreads.
yeah. No, I would take the spread. I think I'll take the spread. Why not? I think Notre Dame will go in there, kind of show Navy what they're working with, and that's just my opinion on that.
I love it, J-Lo. Q says Navy can pass the ball, unlike Army. Joey, 12th ranked Notre Dame at 24th ranked Navy. Spread is 14. Where you headed?
Yeah, and heavy hearts for Navy, and of course, okay, but I think they do play well and they cover, but Notre Dame ekes it out at the end of the day. Navy's been impressive to this point, but if you do look at their schedule, UAB, Chattanooga, Temple, Air Force, teams like that, this is a different animal with the Notre Dame defense, even though our quarterback could be sluggish at times. I think closer than the experts take Notre Dame 27, Navy 21.
So you got Navy covering. Pops texted us, but he said 27-23 Colts. Richardson, player of the game. We did mention that, but we'll give him a shout out yet again. I'm going to go with Navy to cover the 14 points. I think Navy might win this game outright. Notre Dame has played down to their competition this year. They lost to Northern Illinois in Notre Dame. They gave NIU all of that money. Can't quite pick Navy outright, but it would not surprise me at all if Navy ended up victorious in this football game. Their quarterback is a top 4 or 5 candidate for Heisman so far this year as well. He's had a great year, both on the ground and through the air, that is. So, this one's really tough. I'm gonna go. Actually, you know what? Give me Navy to win and cover. Give me Navy to win this football game in a tough one, 30-28. Let's go Navy midshipmen today, as I think they propel their way towards the playoffs, and J.P. Doyle continues his Heisman-type season. It wouldn't surprise me if these quarterbacks from these military teams have Heisman-type years. We're going to move on now, guys, to the Penn State game. And Penn State has a tough game today as well to try and stay in the playoffs. As Uncle Jimmy agrees with me, the Godfather says, good man for picking the Navy to win. But guys, we're all going to do Penn State, then we're going to start switching off. But number 3, Penn State travels to 5-2 Wisconsin. This game's tonight at 6:30. This ain't an easy game at all. Joey, we're going to start with you here as a spread. Let me pull it up from this morning, if it's changed, if it's shifted. Nope, Penn State still -6.5, 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern tonight, Joey. Penn State at Wisconsin.
I'm never betting Wisconsin again after I did, and they got punked by Alabama. I think Penn State's on Alabama's level this year. So I say Penn State wins. I'll go 23-14 Penn State.
J-Lo, number 3, Penn State at 5-2 Wisconsin, 7:30 Eastern. Who you going with? And you got Penn State covering the 6.5.
I think Penn State will handle their own. I think they'll go into Wisconsin and beat them in their house. I say Penn State 30. I say Wisconsin 10. I just don't think Wisconsin is that good of a football team like I thought they were earlier in the season.
They are who we thought they were. I think actually Penn State wins this game by a touchdown. I think they cover by a half point. But I think Wisconsin plays tough. Hey, Bud says Penn State forgot. I love Bud, man. He's always just thinking like a hell of a guy. But I think Penn State wins by Penn State wins by 7, covers the spread in a close one because they got Ohio State next week. Not that this is a look me over game, but you could tell Penn State never beats Ohio State. They're going to do everything they can next week. So to me, they squeak by here. J-Lo, not that they're playing, but Florida has a bye week. You're the one who's going to give us Florida thoughts. Me and Joey don't need to, but quick thoughts on Florida into their bye week, J-Lo.
I mean, to me, they're improving. I think Lagway is definitely getting better and better, looking more like a vet in their quarterback more than a freshman. Defense has played a little bit better. I like what they did against Tennessee. They should have won that game, but they gave in and lost in overtime. And then they put 40-some points on a good Kentucky defense who held Georgia to 14 points. So that's encouraging, I feel. I'm still not sold on Napier. I just don't think he's going to win us a national championship. I mean, honestly, for him to save his job, he's going to have to win 2 out of the next 4 games. And it's a tall ask because they play Georgia, go to Texas, and they come home against LSU and Ole Miss. So that right there is going to be telling if he really keeps his job or not, regardless. Because I know they're going to stomp Florida State over because they're a disaster football team right now. But as far as Lagway goes, this kid is something special. I think he's definitely going to be a great quarterback we haven't had in a long time since like Tim Tebow days. I think this kid, with the right coach, whether it's Napier or the next new head coach, because obviously they're going to want to keep.
Well, we'll talk more Florida. I wanted a synopsis. I love the Florida talk.
I got you.
We got to get rolling. They're on a bye week. We could can him for next week. But J-Lo, love the talk. Love the talk, brother. We're going to get to our college football spreads now as we get to the world. Spread them. 12 o'clock Eastern. Joey, we'll start with you. Oklahoma plus 19 travels to Ole Miss.
What a disaster the Sooner Boomers have been. 19.5. It's a lot of points. But I think Ole Miss is due just to knock the doors off somebody completely. Give me Ole Miss.
J-Lo, 10.5 point underdogs. Georgia Tech travel to Virginia Tech. Georgia Tech was your big money breadwinner to open the year. That game's at noon. Georgia Tech with the 10.5 or Virginia Tech laying it?
No, I said Georgia Tech with the 10.5. I think they'll take care of business with Virginia Tech.
North Carolina's plus 3.5 at Virginia on the road. Give me Virginia minus the 3.5 in that one. North Carolina's just cheeks this year, especially without their starting quarterback, Brad Johnson's son. Joey, Nebraska, 25-point dogs on the road in Ohio State. Nebraska got beaten, battered, and bruised last week. It seems like whenever Nebraska plays a real team, they go into hiding. Where are you heading in this one, Joe? Nebraska getting the 25 points with sad sack of shit Matt Rule leading the way as head coach.
Yeah, I know. We got a great buddy, Mr. H, listening, and I think about this Nebraska team, the corn coming up from the nice stockings across all the fields. You think about the young quarterback that might make some good moves. This team is ass cheeks. I mean, my goodness, they don't compete against anybody good. I try to cheer for them, but Matt Rule is about as cool as my toenail. I'm about to clip off here after our next segment being the toe guy. I'm sorry, Mr. H. Ohio State by 30.
Yeah, Illinois beat him. Indiana battered him. Rutgers damn near beat him on the road. They barely beat Purdue on the road. It's just been one of those type years for Matt Rule fading on tonight. J-Lo, noon Eastern, Washington plus 5 on the road at Indiana. Indiana's without their starting quarterback in this one. Like Joey said, back up his former basketball player's brother. But Washington, 5-point underdogs on the road, J-Lo.
Yeah, give me Indiana at home. I think they'll still pull out the win. I'll definitely go with the spread on that one. It'll be a close one, the experts think.
Hughes, I think me, Joey, J-Lo, Gene, and yourself, if we pad it up, could probably beat Florida State. So I'm in agreement with you there. Arkansas is -7.5 at Mississippi State. Mississippi State's getting a little better week to week, but I think Arkansas handles himself and covers the 7.5 over there. Joey, we're going to go with you on this one. Missouri getting 16 points at Alabama, 3:30 kickoff. Alabama needs to save their playoff chances, and really losers out. To me, losers eliminated from the playoffs with this game. No way Alabama gets in with 3 losses. No way a Missouri team gets in with 2 losses. Joey, who you going with?
Man, this one's so hard. Hold on, I got to get my thinking cap out for this one.
No.
Alabama is due to beat the piss out of somebody. And Missouri's living too high on that horse. Alabama at home, big win by 21.
Mr. H agrees with the Ohio State blowout. Sadly.
There you go. And
Wow.
he's the native. He's the local media guy there. So
that just goes to show what 9 weeks of a season of Matt Rule will do to you. J-Lo, Oklahoma State getting 7 points on the road at Baylor, 3:30 Eastern.
Yeah, I say give Oklahoma State on that one. You know, Baylor's just another disaster of a team. They're not really that good this year. So give me Oklahoma State on the spread.
Yeah, we do have our Red Eyes NFL pick'em coming up, but briefly before that, we'll have our Fantasy Mash report. Mash, and we do have a plethora of games left. Maryland, Minnesota. Maryland's +5 on the road. This one's at 3:30 Eastern. Give me Maryland getting the 5 points on the road. Minnesota hasn't been all too great this year. Joey, Texas Tech getting 5.5 at TCU.
Give me Texas Tech Red Raiders.
J-Lo, BYU 3:30 Eastern at UCF. UCF's really struggling, but they're 2.5-point favorites at home against an undefeated BYU team hungry for the playoffs.
Which is insane because UCF is not a really good football team this year. So give me BYU to cover the plus 2.5 on the points.
I agree with you. I don't know. UCF, KJ Jefferson just ain't all that in a bag of chips at quarterback. Toledo at home against Bowling Green. Give me Toledo -2.5, 3:30 Eastern time. There, Joey, we're getting into a little bit later here. Oregon State +10 on the road at Cal, 4 o'clock Eastern kickoff.
Yeah, I finally found out where Eric Bieniemy's been hiding. That was at Cal University, where he had a good, nice victory last week. I'll get, for that reason, take the Golden Bears.
Well, we'll get into that. But Texas -17 at Vanderbilt, J-Lo, 4:15 Eastern.
That's another tough one. Vandy's been underrated good this year.
I'm
Beating
sorry.
some good teams,
The enemy
but-
is UCLA. I just got to put that
Oh,
out.
my God. That guy's cheeks, too. Oh, my God. You know what? Holy shit. Take
But
it.
that's all good, though. We'll just stick with your pick there. But, J-Lo, Texas -17 at Vanderbilt. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think Texas is going to recover from the beating they took from Georgia, and they'll end up getting a closer win than the experts think. Because Vanderbilt's underrated pretty good. Not great, but pretty good.
Utah -5 at Houston. That game's at 7 Eastern. Give me Utah. I know they've been struggling. I think this is a pick-me-up and bounce-back battle of the Big 12 teams here. Both of them just added. Joey, West Virginia traveling to Arizona, 7 o'clock Eastern. Bag over his head now. West Virginia
Oh my
+5.
God.
Where you heading there, Joey?
Yeah, I'm ashamed. I'm embarrassed, but I love McAfee on game day. I'm loving West Virginia. I got that one right, correct?
It is Halloween time. You're looking like the strangers straight out of that film. J-Lo, Battle of Florida. Florida State at Miami. Stun his own Miami against Bucco's own Florida State. 7 o'clock Eastern. Miami's -21, J-Lo.
It is Stunner's day. It's going to be his total revenge day. Miami will definitely cover and pound the crap out of the Knowles because they are a crappy team this year. Probably the worst team in college football right now. Quote me on that.
Yeah, they are really bad right now, and I don't know if there's fixing them at this point right now. Obviously, a lot of season left, but you never know. I don't think there is fixing them this year. Michigan State at Michigan, I'll take 7:30 Eastern. Michigan -3.5. Give me Michigan laying the points at home. Joey, LSU +1 on the road at A&M, 7:30. Where you headed?
Oh, well, whoever dresses up like Brian Kelly on Saturdays to impersonate that loser does a great job on their sidelines. This is going to be one of the best games of the day at night. I'm looking forward to watching it, but I will never, ever, ever on this show take LSU. Period.
J-Lo, 7:45 kickoff, Auburn, Kentucky, in a pick'em.
I gotta go with Kentucky. Auburn is just another mess program right now, but I like Kentucky on a rebound at home.
Give me Duke +11.5 at home, 8 o'clock Eastern against SMU. Duke's actually been pretty good this year, surprisingly. Give me Duke in that one, getting 11.5 at home. That seems a little steep. Joey, Kansas State. Kansas State's -10 at home in this rivalry battle.
Yeah, I heard Kansas hasn't got it in like 15 straight tries now overall. It's been insane. I don't see why that changes today. Make it 16, Kansas State.
J-Lo, 11:15 Eastern. Cincinnati is +6 on the road at Prime and Company. Where you heading?
Give me Colorado at home, big. Coach Prime gets a big win against Cincinnati at home.
Nevada's +2 on the road at Hawaii at midnight. Give me Hawaii in that money line. That's a treacherous journey for Nevada, and that'll round out our college football spreads. Spread them if you got them. Just kidding, please don't. But that was fun stuff, guys. As we go from college football spreads.
Who knows? J-Lo's camera's off.
J-Lo, you got to show it.
Hey, no comment, sir.
Got it. Oh, boy. Might be it, like LeBron said, ain't no party like a Diddy party. But J-Lo, no, J-Lo ain't Diddy. Oh boy. Let's get back on track here, fellas, as we're going to do our fantasy mash report. Mash them if you got them. We're going to go around the room and just ask a couple of fantasy football questions. J-Lo, starting with you. Cade Otton or Travis Kelce, full point PPR? I know that sounds like a silly question, but with the Bucs all beat up and Travis Kelce's slow start to the year, who you heading with at tight end, J-Lo? Travis Kelce or Cade Otton?
I'll take Cade Otton over Swift Boy at this point. Cade Otton's going to get more touches because of our injuries at receiving. So give me Cade Otton over Travis Kelce.
Bud Cannibals agrees with you. Joey, I don't know if that's a Michael Myers mask or a John Cena mask that looks off.
That's John Cena.
I don't know who the hell that's supposed. I think it's John Cena, Michael Myers, or something along the likes. Joey, we're gonna head to you next in the world of fantasy football. If you could only pick one wide receiver, Keenan Allen at Washington or Cortland Sutton home against Carolina, full point PPR, where you headed?
Yeah, it's Halloween time, gentlemen. We got to get in the spirit of things with Halloween coming up here.
Yeah, well, I could barely hear you, but keep going.
Make it a little easier. Cortland Sutton was trash last week. I have him on a couple teams. He had 0 points on the Thursday night win. He better have took a few extra days off over that weekend to study this crap Carolina turd team. Give me Cortland Sutton to have a decent game against the Panthers.
J-Lo, Derrick Henry at Cleveland. Well, give me a tandem here. Would you go with Derrick Henry and Khalil Shakir together, or Kenneth Walker and Ricky Purcell together now that Brandon Ayuk's out?
I got to go with King Henry, man. That dude's going to smash the Browns into a bloody pulp. And then Khalil Shakir, because I believe Samuel's out for the Bills, so he'll get some touches.
Joey, to get into the Halloween spirit, we'll ask you quite a scary one here. If it's between these two options, that's probably not ideal. But Jacoby Myers or Jalen Tolbert?
Oh, I was about to go to Dollar General. That's perfect timing for this question. Michael Myers, it's Halloween. Give me Jacoby Myers. That's how much I'm looking into that.
Gardner Minshew's back. J-Lo, take us home. Who you heading with in this one?
Yeah, J-Lo, you get Adrian Peterson or Priest Holmes. He gives me Biscuit 1 and Biscuit 2.
Tyrone, who you starting out of the Giants backfield? Tyrone Tracy or Devin Singletary?
Tough one. I gotta say Singletary. I still think he's RB1 right now. Tracy's had some good runs, but give me Singletary. And plus, I have him in fantasy, so I probably will start him tomorrow.
And that'll do it. I'll end us up with the fantasy defensive question. Chargers against New Orleans or Chiefs at the Raiders? Give me Chargers against New Orleans with, they're home against New Orleans. Their defense has been really well, the Chargers, and the Saints haven't been all that in a bag of chips this year. So that's our fantasy football segment there as we get into our NFL Red Eyes Pick'em now. Again, spreads are thrown out the window for our NFL picks in honor of the great Kenneth Rubright. It's dedicated as the Red Eyes segment. And Joey, speaking of Red Eyes, we're going to start with look at J-Lo with the ESPN football music in the background. But Joey started us off. Ravens, Browns, spreads are out the window. 1 o'clock Eastern. Ravens or Browns, Joey?
Well, damn, if we're throwing spreads out the window, I definitely...
We do every week for NFL, so come on now.
Did I say otherwise? Never interrupt me again when you give me a pick that's just really rude stuff.
Well,
anyway,
womp, womp, womp.
Co-host. Saturday. Give me the Ravens.
Co-host or co-host? But you're going Baltimore. J-Lo, we're going to continue from the co-host over to J-Lo now. Let's see what's the second game on the docket. Titans-Lions, 1 o'clock kickoff in Detroit, J-Lo.
Oh, Lions are going to smoke them. Lions all day.
That seems to be a little bit of a couple of mismatches to start there, doesn't it? But we'll see where that leads over there. And we obviously reminder, we don't pick Bucs or Colts games in this part because we already picked them by the time these parts come around. So we do apologize. But if you missed it, you're just going to have to join the instant replay on Buccaneers, on Facebook, on Apple. And I love how Bud, you win the performance of the day. You're picking along with us.
We play it.
Great time. And reminder, our breadwinners and final words are coming up after Red Eyes Pick'em, but I'll take the next game here in the world of the NFL, which is Eagles-Bengals. Give me the Bengals at home. I like them to win straight up. Joey, Packers at Jaguars tomorrow. Jags are coming off a couple long weeks in London, and now they got the Green Bay Packers at home.
Closer than the experts think, but Green Bay wins by 6.
J-Lo, before you answer that, give us, hope that something's dinging. Is that the oven? Is that a cell phone? J-Lo,
Cardinals bracelet.
Cardinals, Dolphins, 1 o'clock Eastern kickoff in Miami.
It's for my costume there, buddy. Not just kidding. But give me the Cardinals on the road. I still don't think the Dolphins are that good, even with Tua returning. Give me the Cardinals on the road.
I don't know what I said. Jets at Patriots. Give me the Jets. They need this one. Drake Mays look good, but if the Jets want any chance, that's a 1 o'clock Eastern kickoff as we do get into the 4 o'clockers now. And once again, I'll give this NFL kudos all day, every day for making it a minimum of 3 4 o'clock kickoffs. Now it's game changing. Whenever it was 2, it would get a little mince meaty sometimes. Joey, 4:05 Eastern. Saints travel to LA to take on the Chargers.
How nice of you to bring up Jimmy's meals. Saints at the Chargers, you said?
Yep.
Harbaugh's not losing at home. They had a really tough loss last week. Problem was they kicked too many field goals, even though Herbert played well. Give me the Chargers.
J-Lo, the Bills of Buffalo circle the wagons at 4:05 and travel across the country to Seattle. Where are you heading there?
Give me Seattle with a big win at home against the Bills.
Go Bills. Bucks need the Bills. Chiefs at Raiders. I'm kidding, J-Lo, but yeah, I hope the Bills do win. But
I mean,
Seattle
I hope
played
they win.
Seattle played
I
very
just
well
yeah,
last week, J-Lo.
exactly. Kenneth Walker's a beast, and the Bills are vulnerable to losing. So let me just give. I want them to win, but I think Seahawks win at home.
Mr. H is showing Joey some love. His Q's and Bud continue to pick with us. They both picked the Bills. Mr. H says Joey's on a roll. Yeah, I think he does have some bread and butter back there somewhere. But give me the Chiefs at Raiders, 4:25 Eastern time. I like the Chiefs a lot in that one. Joey, you get the game of the afternoon at the 4 o'clock slate. The Bears travel to Washington to take on Jaden Daniels or Marcus Mariota and co.
Yeah, and my Bears fans will hate me for this one, but I don't really think it matters who plays QB for Washington. I think, the Bears have to prove it. They play close, but Washington pulls away late and gets the victory.
Oh, crap. I'm sorry, guys. I misspoke. We don't only have 4 3 o'clockers tomorrow. We got this bad boy on as well. Panthers at Broncos, J-Lo.
Broncos, Panthers, dumpster fire. Broncos win big at home.
The Dumbskins. I love that. Bud says Bears. Q says Dumbskins. Cowboys at 49ers. I'm going to go with 49ers, although both teams really need this one. Micah Parsons is out again for the Cowboys. I think 49ers play better here than they have a lot this year. Joey, take us home at Monday Night Football when the Giants travel to Pittsburgh to take on not Justin Fields-led Steelers, but Russell Wilson's led Steelers.
And Uncle Jimmy, I will be rooting for the Chicago Bears. I just got to keep my honesty on my prediction.
How did the Giants have all these nice games?
And on Monday Night Football, the Steelers win 35-6.
35. Holy fuck. Well, you know what's worse than that? The fact that we got Germany with Carolina and the Giants with Machine Gun Kelly at halftime. Talk about just a whole rundown mess in general, all three of those things. It's like, hey, pouring fire on the kitchen there, but that's a whole nother thing to get to. But guys, that is our Red Eyes Pick'em. All right. Calm down over there, but our Red Eyes,
what is he at?
Our Red Eyes
ticket number 32.
Our Red Eyes Pick'em segment never disappoints. James Rubright, the Godfather, says, "I know that, buddy. I'll call you when the game's over, though." Okay, yeah, do it, Uncle Jimmy. Give him a call.
Change my number anyway.
Bud Cannibalist says Niners. Yeah, now we're just making too many jokes here. We got to wind down here on the program. I'm kidding, but before we're going to end with our breadwinners. We're going to do final words before breadwinners because J-Lo's ankle bracelet keeps going off. I think the cops will be arresting him any minute now. So, J-Lo, final word for the program before we get to our breadwinners.
Final word is great time, fellas. Always great chopping it up, talking the all world of college football with y'all. Joey just keeping it entertaining. I just love the hat. Can't wait to hang out with y'all guys, when I come up in a few weeks. But I'm excited for tomorrow's game. I'll be rocking my Creamsicle Mike Evans jersey, feeling the 70s, 80s vibe at Raymond James Stadium tomorrow. And go Bucs and go Colts. Both teams compete for.
J-Lo, bring us a damn win in the Creamsicle game. I'm jealous you're going, but I know you'll put up a hell of a fun time there. Joey Nips, give us your final word for the program.
Yeah, J-Lo, I wish I could say the same on us having a great time when you're out here, but to each their own. I got to stop. I'm done with for today. I'm just going to shut up because I'm over time already.
Yeah, let's roll. And my final word for the program is once again, rest in peace to the great Mark Cook. It's his birthday today. Very sad stuff, should still be with us. And rest in peace to one of Tampa's own, Amir Abdur-Rahim, 43 years young, South Florida's men's basketball head coach. Guys, they were the worst program in the world 2 years ago. Last year, they won their conference. And, just terribly too young. Their breadwinners time, But the great Godfather said, listening to you guys is great. Have to go now, watch Notre Dame, and maybe go Navy. Yup, and breadwinners time is here, ladies and gentlemen. J-Lo, we're going to start with you. And Gene did pick a breadwinner. He's 3-0, so you know what he's doing? He's punting because he picked the Ravens money line, $20 to win 5. But hey, that's okay as long as you win money. J-Lo, where are you heading with your breadwinner?
I say I'm going to go with BYU. Definitely covering the spread against UCF, which is maddening because UCF is really not that good.
Fucking
BYU
took mine, man. You fucking went in and you took my breadwinner and you snapped it in fucking half.
Wow.
Jeez.
Sorry. Not
No, I love it.
Great minds think alike.
Yeah, J-Lo, that means I love it, bro. Don't be sorry. You just stole it from me, which is fine. Q says this was a great show. Thank you, guys. Thanks, Q's. You're a great one. And then Joey's going to be posting the breadwinners. We got Gene with Ravens money line, J-Lo with BYU spread. Joey, where are you heading?
Yeah, I don't think this team's going to win the football game, but getting 7 points in the National Football League on your home field is a lot. Give me New England Patriots +7 at home.
Holy shit.
God.
Wow, that's holy crap. All right.
Well, I don't
well,
want to hear a peep out of you, all right, over there.
Joey has been on a heater, and so wow, you even gave yourself the foot-long loaf of bread. I see where we're heading here. Now I wasn't prepared to reshuffle the deck as J-Lo just totally, sideswiped me there. But if I'm looking at the slate today and tomorrow, if I could pick a breadwinner,
He really hosed you.
Yeah, he really did burn me down. No, I'm just trying. Give me Toledo. I'm trying to find the odds, though. Give me Toledo money line. If you bet $20 on their money line, you would win $15. So that's pretty good value there. Toledo's at home against Bowling Green. So Q says Sean Tucker MVP. Night, guys. Joey, give us the breadwinners one more time, then we'll bounce out of here.
Yeah, so on the afternoon, we have Gene with the Ravens money line. Hope you bet big money there. J-Lo, BYU spread. Joey, Patriots spread. Q, Sean Tucker, MVP. And Tones, the main host, the man who runs the place, Toledo money line.
It's Olive. We love our lady listeners, says Joey. Nice hat. J-Lo, we're going to head out.
There was nothing in your head, Olivia, so thanks for playing.
J-Lo, quick thoughts on Joey's hat before we head out.
Oh, yeah, it's a nice hat. I bet it looks better on me when I get up there. I'll have to try it on.
Oh!
There's a reason you went no. There's a
Go
reason
Bucs,
you went,
go Bucs, fire the damn camera.
you went no camera. No camera in.
Touchdown, Bucs. Let's go. Again, shout out to the great Ken Rubright in our Red Eyes Pick'em segment. Breadwinners. Real fun show today, guys. Awesome stuff. Joey, your jokes did make me miss a little college football, but it's all good. J-Lo, we'll be talking very soon, my friend. I'll see you on the other side, brother.
Deuces.
Fire the damn cannons. K-Dot and touchdown. Bucs win, Bucs win, Bucs win. Let's fucking go tomorrow. Let's go. Can't wait, as Bart Scott once said. Game on Sunday, man. I know you're nervous for the Rams, but you got to be a little enthusiastic after being there.
Bro, that game atmosphere was ridiculous. The energy, the electricity. That place was rocking. Anyone was there, and a lot of the Super Buck fans were there too. The Bucs.
Tampa Tones. We are joined by Lead Goon tonight, host of the Pat and Aaron Show of WDAE, Pat Donovan. And it sounds like Stunna is bumbling a little bit. Going to put him on mute for a second until that gets a little cleared. But we're joined by Pat
It looks like
Donovan.
Stunna's hanging out with Cheech and Chong in a car with the windows up or something over there.
It does look like we got a little...
No,